Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, giving you a very special broadcast. You know that this gentleman and I, we've been picture in picture for a long time, few years now. Daniel Boobie Santiago, and he played up at Utica Proctor in Utica, New York. Then he went out to Horizon in Arizona, got recruited all over the country from multiple different conferences and opportunities, ultimately decided to head to Holy Cross in Division One AA FCS to be a part of this beautiful conference that we have here, and everything that comes from the Patriot League. And this season has been an incredible season, an incredible ushering into his collegiate life. The team is 6-0 in the Patriot League, 11-0 overall as they head into the NCAA Division One AA FCS playoffs, and they have a first round bye. So a lot of stuff to be said there in the intro. Really, I don't know how you can have a better intro into college football. So with that being said, Daniel, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me once again. Yeah, pretty good season so far. Obviously, we're not done yet. But yeah, can't complain. From my end.
Yeah, this is, I mean, and you and I, we spoke, as I had talked about before, 8 days before your first offer. And you put that bat signal up for me all throughout, and we got to talk about offers as they came in. We got to do the exclusive when you chose Holy Cross, got to come out with your family and celebrate your signing of Holy Cross. So to go through all of that over these last couple of years, to walk onto campus for the first time before the season even started, because I know that you were able to get over there and get a couple weeks in early, which typically players don't get to do. So when you
Yeah.
first stepped foot onto campus, went to your first practice, go back to that day for me and tell me what that was like for you.
Um, Similar to kind of, like I said before, when I first got to Arizona, super open arms. I felt like, I was already part of the family, first day I got here. Whether it was, the first meeting or, meeting the guys or the coaches. I definitely felt something special here. That honestly I didn't feel anywhere else I was getting recruited by. So I'm glad, I chose to come here, and obviously, I can't really complain from the spot we're in right now.
When you got to have that opportunity to get onto campus a few weeks early, just what that meant to you to have that opportunity to get to show yourself to the coaches right away.
Yeah, so typically, from other states, kids from other states, you're able to, be on campus and participate in the preseason or pre-camp stuff, before or after you graduate. And for me, I didn't graduate until I think mid or the end of June. So it technically wouldn't be possible. But we were able to figure out a way to make it happen. And I got to get on campus and, like you said, show them really how I am, and kind of introduce myself to the family, along with them introducing themselves to me. And like I said before, it was nothing but great things.
When you got to get out there, what is it that you think you showed the coaching staff that made them believe in you? And I mean, obviously they recruited you, they wanted you to come there, but what type of first impression do you think you gave them when you were out at practice?
Um, uh, for me, it's always been kind of an energy thing. I'm always super excited. I love to play football no matter where I am. It's my favorite thing to do, ever. And it's just, I guess, the energy and the juice I bring, to practice. I want to be there. I want everyone else to be happy they're there, and I want to, get some work done while we're at it.
And for you to see what this team has done this season, like I said, your first experience of college football as part of a program is an undefeated season going into the postseason here for the FCS and for this playoff opportunity. So just bring me into, just what it's been like to experience this and have such a phenomenal start to the career that you have, seeing this team that you're on with the Holy Cross Crusaders going 11-0 here.
Yeah, from the day I walked in, during the summer, I knew this team, had something super special. I got, the hint from it from other guys, but I didn't really get a taste of it until, we started winning games and going on with the season. And I mean, I'm grateful I'm here. I'm glad I chose here. I'm glad I had the opportunity to come here. And it speaks volumes, just what a bunch of guys can do together when they work as, a team. So I think everyone feels the same way. And, like I said, I'm just super excited to be here.
Who are the guys on the team that you feel like have really taken you under their wing and you've learned the most from at this point?
First off, the sophomore class is who really, I started hanging out with, obviously besides freshmen, but I started hanging out with here that, kind of I felt accepted in early. I was hanging out with them when it was just a bunch of sophomores, and it's not really, a common thing for a freshman to just come and just get along with everyone. But I felt super welcomed by, some of the sophomores. Frankie Monty, he's a linebacker from Jersey. Um, Jordan Fuller, he's a running back from Mass. Joe Pizanski, Ryan Ruane, Dame Donalds, he's another D lineman. Those are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to guys that are super important to me in my transition into college.
Speaking here with Daniel Boobie Santiago is a true freshman here on the defensive line for the Holy Cross Crusaders. Being on this D line, how would you describe what it's like in practice and the offensive linemen that you go up against and how some of those guys have pushed you?
We are a really gritty team. So there's a lot of just some man on man contact. Like is why we play the game, but definitely a super physical team. Groups of guys that might not have the talent as other schools, but they'll outwork every player on the other school's roster. And we have so many guys like that here. It's kind of hard to not get better and not be inspired to work just as hard as them.
And when you see, the guys work the way that they have, like you said, you just felt like there was something special when you came here. Guys were telling you that there was something special. What have been the best parts of this season, in your opinion? Those things that you look back on and say, wow, having this element to our game or having this player or having, this certain thing, this has really been a huge part of our success. Can you name a few things that you attribute the success to?
Um, yeah. So, I mean, we're winning games, and there's nothing really better than winning. That's why we play. That's what we all hope to do. Um, but it's really, a true brotherhood here. And I might be repetitive, but I've never felt, this close with, a group of guys that are all successful. Because sometimes you have your fun, you might not have the best record, or you try super hard, and you're super focused, and you kind of just takes the fun all out of it. But you might win every game. But here, I feel like we're having the most fun I've ever had. Playing football. And at the same time, we're 11-0 with the AAC going in the FCS bracket. So that has a big thing to do with it. Um, uh, the coaching staff definitely. Usually, you hear stories of recruits kind of hearing kind of negative changes from the coaching staffs when they get here. But things only got better for me from the first day. I felt like I had a bond with my D-line coach, Coach Della, all the way up to the head coach, Coach Ches. I feel like we've had a bond that was a lot more personal than anyone could really imagine going in as a first year.
You had told me here with Daniel Boobie Santiago, true freshman defensive lineman here with the Holy Cross Crusaders, hailing from Utica, New York, on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. You had talked to me about the fact that they showed you a lot of love and that they appreciated you. You also said to me that because you got FBS offers and FCS offers as well. So, a lot of people that get an FCS offer and an FBS offer, they're going to take the FBS. You chose the FCS route, not because of FBS versus FCS, but because of the love that you received from the coaches. And you also felt like the road here was a good road because of the success of Holy Cross. I'd love to go into that and speak with you on it, just what the recent history of success Holy Cross did to make you feel like, hey, this is the right place to go to because there was that opportunity to reach the playoff coming Holy Cross?
Um, yeah, so I mean, we beat FBS team this year, which is obviously, a huge part of our season. We beat Buffalo week 2. A lot of people thought, we were going to get kind of blown out of the water by Buffalo when we got in there. But a fact that I do love is that we are all, super confident going in there, knowing that if we played our brand of football and, maxing out our abilities as a full team, we'd go in there and get a job done for sure. But it's just uh, there's a lot of some impactful moments for me. I mean, winning games. I wouldn't say it's the same, but winning is winning. And we it's what we work for. Um, but yeah, I mean, a lot. We love winning here, and we love having fun with it.
We look at the fact a third straight undefeated Patriot League slate. Holy Cross winning its fourth consecutive Patriot League title this year, 4 in a row. First team ever in the history of the Patriot League to win 4 outright titles in a row. Saw the picture of you holding that Patriot League trophy. Just what that means to you to come to a team that has won 4 outright titles in the Patriot League, and looking at the fact of having a third straight undefeated Patriot League schedule. So 3 times in a row undefeated in the Patriot League in the last 3 seasons. And then on top of that, winning 4 straight titles to be able to have some hardware going into the postseason.
Absolutely. I feel like as younger guys here, we kind of joke about it. We say, waking up on third base, ready to score, right away without having to, truly work for it. I mean, obviously it's just a joke. We're putting work in, but I feel like it is, I wouldn't say what we expected, but it's definitely what we work for here. When Coach Ches came, I think it was 5 years ago. I'm hearing from the 5th years and a lot of the older guys that it was a noticeable impact, as soon as he stepped foot on campus. I do feel like he has a lot to do with the culture, and, the character building we have here, to make us work hard enough to do things that, like you said, will go down in history. But I feel like, that's a huge part of, our winning and, our success as a program that the last, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and you look at this coaching staff as you've mentioned here, and just when we go from the head coach all the way through Bob Chesney, just what you take away from Coach Chesney and this staff as a whole, just what he's done leadership wise to guide this team to an 11-0 outing going into the postseason, and just the staff in general. What you take away from these guys?
I mean, it's nothing less than what I thought. Coming in here, they work hard. They are great at what they do, obviously, and when you got guys that are willing to work with you and help put pieces together to win football games, it's gonna go good. You have the best, arguably the best coaching staff in the country, FCS wise, and a lot of guys that want to win on the team. It's going to lead to some decent things.
Do you have a memorable message this season from Coach Chesney up to this point?
Um, I mean, I'd probably say the 3 pillars of our team were the other things that are just in my head every day. Um, are we still here?
Yeah, and those
Uh,
3 pillars being what? Share those with us.
so number 1 being schematically competent, meaning we are going to be prepared to go into any battle. Situationally aware, just kind of being steps ahead, at any time. Even in life, you want to be situationally aware. You want to know what's going on around you, so that you can prepare and do what you have to do to succeed in that moment. And fundamentally sound. I mean, we're a fundamental team here, obviously. We go week in and week out and go back to the basics of what we have to do to win a game, and we add on to that after. So I'd say those three things are like what really goes through my head every day and everything I do.
And obviously with you coming in as a true freshman, Daniel Boobie Santiago from Utica, New York, with the Holy Cross Crusaders, undefeated team up to this point, heading into the postseason, 11-0 here in the 2022-23 season. We're on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios. Having to wait your turn and be patient as a true freshman has taught you what?
Um, College football is a lot different than high school football. I know that's needless to say, but especially here, we are a team of very minimal error. The guys that are striving right now, they know the playbook inside and out. They've had 3 to 4 years here, and they're just guys that I feel like are kind of created, I guess, by the guys here. Being Coach Tez and Coach James. We run a very unique defense, and I feel like just being ahead mentally is what really it takes to thrive here as a young guy coming in.
How have you improved mentally, in your opinion, when you say that, that's a big part of success there? How have you improved mentally?
Um, I pretty much, I kind of changed my game. I play football with a different mindset now. I'm a lot less aggressive, and working more as um, I'm working towards being, a part of the unit instead of making, individual efforts myself. Whether it's taking on double teams or, getting in the way or, making some room for guys to make tackles. I feel like I've developed a lot of trust for, the guys around me that, if I do my job, they'll do theirs and, make a play.
And so for you, like you said, more about team and less, individual different pieces that you can do and whatnot. So how have you learned to be a team player even more so and fill in your role as part of that unit? As you said, college football is obviously different than high school. So how have you transitioned your game to be effective and at the same time to fit the defense that you need to fit?
Um, I feel like just gaining trust and trusting the guys around me that did a lot of that for me. Obviously just building onto a lot of of the smaller things. Um, you know, taking whether it's taking better notes or improving my first step or my stance. There's a lot of small parts to a big overall effort.
And I'm looking at the picture of when you guys got selected. Where exactly were you sitting in comparison to the stage?
I should be top left if I'm in there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, okay. And so, I mean, for you to be in this moment and to get to see this, we talk about March Madness and the bracket and, selection Sunday and all of that. But in the FCS, there is that selection moment as well, where you're like, okay, we went undefeated, we won the Patriot League. Where are we going to be? Bring me into that experience for you and what that was like to sit and wait for Holy Cross to be called.
the moment was electric. I think they've been there the past 3 years. Before I got here, but we've never been in a position that we knew we were capable of being in this year. Um, and I feel like just going in there, we had a lot of good expectations. So the moment we really got chosen, the 8 seed, first round bye, home game. It was just tons of just pure emotion, out of guys, coaches included, families were there, just our entire kind of community. We all felt the same. We're just proud that the work we put in and the work we all put together is just starting to show.
And your defensive line coach, Coach Nick, just what you could say about what he's done to improve you and how his mark has been left on your game up to this point.
Yeah, Coach Dell. He is young enough to relate with us a lot. And that's what I say is, one of the best things, from him. So he understands us. He knows how we think. He knows just overall how to communicate with us inside and outside of football. So I think that, a really important part of that is just building a relationship with your players. And, the D-line room this year is definitely, the most at home I felt, with a position group.
Yeah, and you spoke about the game against Buffalo, a team in the MAC inside of the FBS, Division 1A football, and winning that game and just getting that victory as time was expiring, and seeing that Jalen Coker's 46-yard touchdown pass to Matthew Sluka, and just seeing that 37-31, you guys were down 33-31 with 31 seconds left, just how that all comes about, that a team can do what this team did with 31 seconds left on the clock.
Um, when the time comes, you either rise to the occasion or you're not prepared to do so. So, I think the guys on the team were just, we had trust that, our boys would go out there and do what they could while they could. I thought that 31 seconds was obviously way more than enough time for Matt Sluka, especially the duo he has with Jalen. It's just those are two of the clickiest guys I've seen, as a duo in football, in person. And I feel like that moment built a lot of character for us, knowing that we can just, sit back and watch our guys do their thing. In a moment as crazy as that one.
And you were recruited by the Yales and Harvards of the world. You got to play Yale and Harvard this season, defeating Yale for homecoming 38-14 at home, and on the road at Harvard 30-21. Getting recruited by those Ivy League schools and then getting victories over them, just what that did for you. If you felt a connection to that, like I said, I know you're a true freshman, and you're working hard to find your place on there, but to be able to be a part of this team and see these games like that, just what that was like for you to experience meeting teams in your recruitment, like a Buffalo as well, but meeting those teams in game situations and seeing them on the other sideline.
Yeah, I mean, the Ivy League, they play gritty ball. They're obviously great teams. We were able to, come out and beat them, but those were probably some of the toughest games, we faced this year. But I think that, it's kind of a sweet and sour moment when it comes to, seeing the guys that I could have, been being coached by or, been teammates with, simply for the fact that obviously we won. But I guess the relationship kind of changes after you go somewhere that they're not happy with. So just looking at them, not really trying to avoid me, kind of is it makes me happy, but it's definitely a kind of weird moment. But I'm glad I'm here. That's all I really can say about that.
And a team that you could see after your first round bye in the FCS playoffs could see Fordham again. It's either going to be Fordham or New Hampshire. Your team has gone up against Fordham when Fordham was ranked 22nd and 15th in two separate polls here. And the victory was 53-52 in overtime. A very gutsy call by your head coach to get after it here, and to see that we saw Fordham get up 52-45 with a touchdown and a kick. And the response from Justin Shorter, a 9-yard pass from Matt Sluka, and to get that score, and then Asante to run it in on a 2-point conversion. Just what you could say about that moment where you go for two and you see your team get the victory 53-52. We're in the first overtime and you're able to close it out like that in a game against Fordham. So 2-part question, just what it was like to see your coach say, hey, no, we're going for two. We want to win this game. We want to get out of here. And it was against a ranked team. And then secondly, the fact that you could see Fordham again.
I mean, yeah, first of all, Fordham's a crazy good football team. They put points on the board. They have a really good offense. So yeah, it was a high scoring game. Got to overtime. Shorter scored the touchdown to kind of make us feel a little relieved about it, because honestly, as at least the defensive line, we were all standing on the bench watching the 2-point conversion. That play specifically torched us in practice a few times. It's the play we ran there is kind of hard, a reverse. The pretty much the Philly special. Um, that's a play right there. And we were kind of confident going like, yeah, go for two. Like we know we have, we know we can do this defense. And then once it happened, whether it's students coming down from the stands or coaches and family, just enjoying the moment. The moment was truly special. Just to know that the team that you work with every day was able to pull something off like that. At the level we did.
Yeah, and you mentioned Matt Sluka before, and I want to correct myself. In the Buffalo game, Matt Sluka's pass to Jalen Coker, 46 yards for that victory, 37-31. Your family, I've gotten to know them very well, and they treat me as part of the family. And definitely miss the food right now, and I miss being able to sit and hang out with them. I miss the music too, and I miss your grandmother going up to the DJ being like, "Yeah, you're not playing the right music." So what's it been like to see the family at pretty much all the games so far this season?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, being in Arizona the past couple of years, it wasn't, as easy for, my family to be there every game. Moving close to home, I knew I was still in college, but it'd be a little bit more common to see my parents, right behind me at the games and be able to go hang out with them at home games and just see my family pretty much every week. Was definitely a big part of my transition in to college. And I'm grateful, to have the opportunity for, my family to be here and just be around as much as they are.
As a true freshman, you got to always be ready so you don't have to get ready. What are you doing to make sure you are ready, knowing that, an injury away or a helmet coming off away or whatever it may be away from stepping out there? What are you doing to stay ready?
I'd say, yeah, I mean, I know that I'm ready now. Um, if that was, to be the case. Um, but I'm working just as hard as everyone else is every day. For the same goal that they're working for. So like I said earlier, just being, your piece to the puzzle. The puzzle, it won't come out if people don't play their role. So I feel like I'm just sitting and I'm taking in every moment. When my job is to be done, I'm making sure that I know how to do it and what intensity to do it at. Like you said, because any moment could be mine.
And seeing this, 11-0 is great. Patriot League 6-0 is great. 4 straight titles, history making in the Patriot League. That's great too. How has the team dialed in and zone and kind of just zoned in on what is here? It's a new season. You're 0-0 now. If you want to win a championship, that 11-0 is great, but you got to put it away. How quickly did the team put it away? And just what you could say about the mental focus of the Holy Cross team as a whole.
Yeah, we're definitely a speed to the next kind of team. Every week we're going in wanting to go 1-0. Whether it's a nail biter like some of our games were, or a game by a decent gap that we were able to win. We have the same mentality going into that Monday meeting. Just making sure that we all know, who we have next. To enjoy the moment, but it's time to move on and keep going. Because the ultimate goal is to be the very best.
And as you said, to be the very best here in the FCS playoffs, the top 8 seeds get a bye. You being one of those 8 seeds is number 8 for Holy Cross. And then looking at this overall, I mean, each piece of this and just what it means to see, a true bracket, right? The college football playoff for Division 1 AFBS is going to eventually be moving to 12. But in yours, it's double that, right? You have 24 teams. You got 16 teams that are outside of the top 8 going up against each other. Just what it means to you to be a part of this FCS playoffs and knowing that there's 24 teams involved, which I would imagine should show you the real champion.
Yeah, just knowing that we are, 4 or 5 games away from being, like I said, the very best. It's a special feeling because obviously not everyone's able to, be in my shoes and, experience the experience I'm going through. Obviously with such a special culture here and, obviously, a winning program. Um, we love, we love to, kind of enjoy it, but really we're taking, one game at a time because we can't get into, round 2 or round 3 without beating the team we play in round 1. So
And for you to know that you have a home game there, whoever it may be in that first game, just what that means, to you and to this team as a whole, to be in front of your fans that have been so supportive and loving and caring throughout, and knowing that you have New Hampshire or Fordham, but you will be at home on December 3rd, a Saturday at noon Eastern time, and that you have a home game in the postseason.
I mean, yeah, being able to have our community here with us, at such ease without having to hop on a flight or drive 8 or 9 hours, it's great. It is because they are honestly a pretty big part of our program. Whether it's the janitors we see every day or our professors or classmates, they all do a role in our program, and I think it's special for us that they're able to be here.
You're in Worcester, Massachusetts. It looks like Worcester, but it is Worcester, Massachusetts. How would you describe the community in Worcester?
Um, Worcester loves Worcester. Everyone's pretty happy to be here. I mean, I'd say we. I wouldn't really say we yet, but the people here, we take pride in being in Worcester and living in Worcester. Just the way that we do, as players, going to Holy Cross and playing football here. So, I'd say it's a pretty special place where, a lot of people are really, glad to be here.
What do you want to say to someone who's fighting right now, be it football, be it anything, to chase their dreams and get after it? You were someone who went through adversity, went through COVID times, had to go across the country just to play. What do you want to say to the people out there that, be it football or anything, are trying to achieve their dream and maybe they hit a roadblock? Maybe somebody told them that they couldn't. Maybe they're just kind of in their own head right now. What would you say to them?
I mean, as cliche as it sounds, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So take every opportunity, just as important as another, and take advantage of it because it's only gonna, it can only help build to what you're trying to achieve. I definitely just say not listen to anyone else. I mean, that really doesn't mean anything. It's only going to slow you down from being where you want to be. But just put your head down and work, and keep in mind where you want to be and the shoes you want to fill.
I love that, and I appreciate that. And in closing here with Daniel Boobie Santiago, true freshman defensive lineman for the Holy Cross Crusaders as they get set for the postseason. Having those words, you're from Utica, New York. With me that, well, the hashtag support CNY, I started it at the beginning of COVID, February 2020, and have been using it pretty much daily. Also, the hashtag recruit New York, just what you could say about supporting Central and Upstate New York student athletes. And you are wearing that badge and you're on this undefeated team. Obviously, you're a true freshman. You're working to get yourself out there and whatnot. But being a part of this team, getting recruited, getting out there, just what you want to say to the world about the New York State athlete and the importance of recruiting New York, with you being one of the guys that wasn't given the respect initially.
I mean, lately I do feel that it's growing definitely. The recruitment process and just the energy for football here or back home is it's truly, I think, at the highest it's been in a while. Whether it's teams winning games or guys getting recruited or even like the all-star games they had. I thought that was super sick. Just for players that we'd be able to keep playing after the season and just kind of enjoy one last game, as an athlete here in high school.
Daniel Boobie Santiago coming to you on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. This has been our special feature with Daniel coming to us from Utica, then Arizona, now Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts. He's he's given me the opportunity to be with him and since the beginning of the beginning. So, Daniel, as always, I can't thank you enough. I'm riding with you no matter what. I'm going to be wearing purple proud. I need to get some of my gear right. And so that's on me to make sure I get some Holy Cross stuff. But, big brother's proud over here. Can't say enough great things about you and the family and everything that Holy Cross is doing as an extended family. So really, really happy for you to be there and can't thank you enough for letting me be a part of this.
Absolutely. I appreciate your support. As always, I appreciate, you providing the outlet for me to, kind of be able to grow and develop. And, obviously just being here from the start, that means a lot. And yeah, I thank you a lot.